What's up, musicologists? Welcome 2025, brand new Amari Music Talk. I'm Richard Cole. This is the podcast that is always on the one, and it's good to be back. Um, it would take a whole nother show to kind of explain the last few months, but it's been a journey. Um, Ready for 2025 now. Um, got the background here. Thought we were going to be in a new location, but that's still going to be some time off. So I've got how the backgrounds used to be. Everything is in boxes and stuff. So we're gonna rock this background, which is a cool background until things change. So other than that, it's 2025, back, ready to start this new journey. Thanks to everyone that's been supporting the show while I was away. Got some new subscribers. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Longtime listeners, welcome back. And we're gonna make 2025. We're gonna go through the journey. We're gonna navigate through some stuff, but we're gonna have a lot of fun in the process. Usually every year I do a predictions episode in regards to Prince releases, like what is the estate going to release next? And I don't know, this year, I got a feeling it's kind of a rinse and repeat kind of a year because we really didn't get a lot last year. So basically, some of this stuff is going to be a retread from the last predictions episode, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun rocking with it. Um, you know, hey, you guys out there, tell me your success stories. Um, what are you listening to? What Prince albums, what funk, what rock, what jazz, what blues, even classical? Shout it out in the comments. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna share. Um, like I said, we don't know what 2025 is going to bring, really. Like I said, kind of a rinse and repeat, Purple Rain. We really didn't get anything. No box set, no super deluxe, just one little color vinyl reissue. And I think you can only get it at Target. And but we did get some great stuff though. We did get some great stuff. I guess to kind of kick this off back on Purple Rain, I guess this is Purple Rain 2.0. I've never seen an anniversary for an album. Now, there are things like due to COVID, uh, and then after COVID, the supply chain issues, where there were a lot of artists who had anniversary issues slated for, 2020 or 2021. And, it's like those things were delayed. So like every anniversary release is kind of like a year off, but at least they delivered on the product. So will we get that from the Prince Estate this year in regards to making something happen? Didn't get a super deluxe last year. Will we get one this year? Like I said, it's kind of a rinse and repeat. We got the Blu-ray, we did get that. The 4K release, I did pick that up, watched it. That was amazing. Great picture, great sound. Speaking of sound, we did get on our streaming services, at least ones that support Dolby Atmos. We did get Purple Rain with the superb Dolby Atmos mix from engineer Chris James. So there was supposed to be a physical release of that. I haven't heard anything else going on with that, but that's something I'm looking forward to having physically. But like I said, if you have a great Dolby Atmos system, if you have great Dolby Atmos earbuds, headphones, any kind of computer speakers, I definitely recommend you check that out. Actually, there's an episode that I did. Actually, I'll put that up at the end of the show. Check it out. My review of that Dolby Atmos mix. But yeah, I mean, so I'm looking forward to a physical version of that. Uh, I don't know. Tell me, did you guys hear that Dolby Atmos mix? Shout that out in the comments. Um, do you think we're going to get a box set this year? Like I said, again, Prince Celebration, it's Purple Rain 2.0. How is that going to affect anniversary releases for 2025? There's the long-awaited Symbol album, although we've long past that anniversary date for that album. Even though, 2023, we got the superb Diamonds and Pearls box set. For some Prince fans, logically, the Symbol album should have been right after that or along with that. But will we get that this year? That's, again, things we don't know. The estate's quiet. There's been stuff, tied up with the Netflix documentary controversy. Can they release stuff because of the exclusive rights to the documentary? Usually something like that, things are usually tied up for like maybe 2 years or so. Um, I don't know. Let me shout that out in the comments too. What you guys think about that? Do you think we're going to get any, major releases, or is everything music, videos, live performances, is that all tied up? And really, why is everything in the vault tied up? Basically, I would think, and I know, it's a 9-hour documentary. I'm sure that everything in the vault didn't appear in the Netflix documentary. So why not just put the stuff out that's not going to be in this documentary? But that's a different story for another day. But the Love Symbol album, will we see that? We do know it was finished along with Diamonds and Pearls. So, that should be on deck to drop. But speaking of anniversary releases, though, we do have 40th anniversary coming up on Around the World in a Day. And we've got the 30th anniversary of the Gold Experience for 2025. So do you think those will be great releases for the year? Actually, those are two that I'm definitely looking forward to. Love Symbol too, but I would think for me, Around the World in a Day and the Gold Experience are the two most important. So definitely shout out, if those are your two favorite albums, or which one is your favorite: Love Symbol, Gold Experience, Around the World in a Day. Which one do you like? Shout it out in the comments. Let's see. Yeah, will we get a Gold Experience Super Deluxe? Or could we get maybe a box set of Prince recording sessions that covered 1993 to 1995? Because a lot of that material overlaps. Some of it was intended for the Come album. Some of it was intended for the Gold Experience. Some of the stuff I think ended up on Emancipation. Some stuff ended up on Chaos and Disorder. There was so much overlap with those sessions that, sometimes I think not every single album needs a box set. I think that, maybe just doing that era of sessions. I mean, you still get all the songs, and the estate can also reissue the original albums remastered that you can have on vinyl, have on CD, available for streaming. Because that's probably more so than any other Prince period that you'd had such overlap like that, where, all the songs could have ended up anywhere. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. One of something that kind of caught my ear or eyes, sort of in the absence, so to speak, was the there was the family, or no. Susanna Melvoin, her artist page. There was a picture that was taken by Steve Park, and this was when the family reunited. This was back in 2011, that picture. Um, and then the comments. In fact, let me try to pull that up. Let's see. So yeah, the first one, the family, to be continued in April 2025. And then there was another post on her page, some big, beautiful personalities. Anyhow, an older shot and a snippet of our show in London a while back, but it's a taste of this band. April will be fun and counting on more. Yes, yes, most definitely. Now, looking at exclusive Amari Music Talk merchandise, visit richardcolemusic.com, get Amari Music Talk t-shirts, We Funk to the Last Band t-shirts, and all kinds of new merchandise, everything designed by me, of course, and all proceeds help develop new content for the channel. Link in the description is definitely below. Now, looking at these posts, I'm thinking like, oh, we getting a reissue of the family album? Is we're going to get something remastered? Will it have the 12-inch single, The Screams of Passion? Will it have the 12-inch mix of High Fashion? Will it be, would it contain the, maybe audio, video, or maybe just audio of the family's only performance back in 1985 at First Avenue? I was getting hyped, like, oh, whoa, okay, yeah, State's back in business. Cool. But come to find out that they are announcing, if I can get there we go, that they are announcing a show, and this is somewhere in Europe, I believe, and it's called The Purple Jam. And then this is something that saxophonist Candy Dulfer is putting together. So it will be a night with her, Shelby J, let's see, Ivan Perotti or Perotti. And then we've got the family, F Deluxe. So however you want to call them or remember them, but in attendance will be Jelly Bean Johnson, Susanna Melvoin, St. Paul, and Eric Leeds. Now, as far as I know, that this might be just a one-off show. There's no telling if this is going to tour the rest of the globe, especially here in America. There's been no official announcement of that, nor has there been any official announcement of a family reissue. It's like, how dare you get me hyped for that? And again, nothing. But that seems to be the modus operandi of the estate these days. I'm not going to clown the estate or put them down. We're not going to, as I've heard in some videos recently, we're not going to play the victim Olympics in this. We're just going to enjoy what we have. Your favorite Prince album, your favorite era. I think it's time we got to start taking back our personal enjoyment and kind of just forget the social media. Yes, that's coming from a guy that has a podcast, but one of the things, and I'm going to speak on this in a different episode, but one of the more refreshing things about taking the break, because it was like really more so just trying to handle a lot of business and try to get, the launching pad set for 2025 and beyond. But I think one of the things, the social media has been so toxic, that it was good to kind of get off of that, kind of get away from that and kind of look for more positive avenues. Um, but like I said, I'll speak on it in a different episode. But one of the things that I found refreshing was being able to once again enjoy the music from just my personal viewpoint, without having like, minute somebody post something that they enjoy, then somewhere in the comments somebody's got to tear it down, like, oh, that period sucked, that era sucked, that album sucked, oh, the 90s were this and the 2000s were that and the 80s were this. And I really just kind of, like I said, started taking it back. Was listening to 1999 and the Super Deluxe, and kind of my little personal compilation of the Camille album and things like that, and was just like, and not going back to the past, but just enjoying it as music, just enjoying the artist. And I think one of the missions of this show is to get back to that and have this be sort of that safe space. Now there might be, if something comes out, there might be some breaking news or there may be some commentary, but overall, for the future, like I say, we're just gonna celebrate it. Again, in the comments, shout out your favorite album. Help get this video to 1,000 likes and more. Like, one of the things I love was the Ernie Isley episode that I did, and the amount of just love that video got. And that's what I've been wanting to do with this show. And I want to do more like that, where, focus on Prince, focus on the Isley brothers, focus on whoever, Jesse Johnson. And like I said, just celebrate the music, shout out who you might want me to talk about on a future episode. Become a Patreon supporter. That will be the avenue where you really will have voting power. You can create a topic or a question, and that episode will be exclusive to that channel. But here, if this, also you would get early access to episodes like this one and future Amari Music Talk episodes. So if there's something that you want to see, become a supporter, create the topic or question, become a supporter, and, just get early access to the episode. And then it'll be seen a couple of weeks later on YouTube, and everyone else can see it. But yeah, just have this be a safe space to where we just focus on the music, shout out your favorite era without, somebody saying, so basically, if Planet Earth is your favorite Prince album, I'm not going to be the one to come on here and say, oh, that album is terrible, because we're going to celebrate the whole thing. Like I said, just kind of getting back into the swing of doing the show again. It was kind of back in that Prince mindset. Like I said, I've been playing like a lot of, like I said, Camille mostly. What else? A lot of different live shows. What else? Like I said, 1999, the Super Deluxe, been kind of bouncing in and around with that, Sign of the Times. Just when I was starting to create the new template for the show, what was I listening to then? Oh, the Diamonds and Pearls box set. That still holds up, almost 2 years later. But a couple of things I was listening to right up until creation of the show for this season. Shout these out if these are your favorites, or you know what, give these albums a new listen. Like me, like Raven to the Joy Fantastic. I played it a lot when it first came out. A little disappointed. And I like Rave into, I like some of those mixes better. Like, one day I might just kind of combine the songs that I like on the Rave Unto version and the rave in two version and kind of make a playlist on that. Um, but just listening to the original album recently was like, it's nice to hear, because we don't have them in real time anymore. And I think the thing that we have to accept is the fact that we don't have him in real time anymore. And kind of, the people that are running it, whether it's, one half, it's, the heirs or the representatives of the heirs. And then on the other half, you have primary wave. And while they may have the capability to really drop some fantastic stuff whenever they do decide to drop it, it's still not going to be the same. And some people are going to be happy, some people aren't going to be happy. And like I said, the thing is, we jump on that social media, is the thing to remember is to keep your personal enjoyment, because that's how it started in the first place. Everybody on social media wasn't there the first time you got hooked on Prince or any artist whatsoever. And the enjoyment and excitement that they give you through their art, their creativity, the music, whatever was going on at the time the music was happening, if it was good times, bad times, if it got you through something, then the rest of the world wasn't there with you. Maybe your friends were there. Maybe your family was there, if nothing else. Maybe it was just you by yourself. Maybe you were the only one that could relate to that artist while everybody else around you was like listening to whatever, whatever the top 40 said you should listen to. You might have been that only one like, well, yeah, that's cool, but this artist here is the one that defines it for you. And I think the more you hold on to that and hold on to the positivity it gave you, the joy it gave you, and just ignore all the craziness, because it's like, here's the thing, if that 90s era, whatever era gave you that much joy that it pisses you off that somebody doesn't like it, or, if it pisses you off that somebody likes another era or another artist or another this or another that, then you're not listening the right way, then just shut off the social media and just play that album. And just because it's a lot that's going to change and a lot that we're going to have to navigate. So, you know, that positive energy, get your mind, your body, your spirit right, get that all on the same page, moving in the right direction, and let that artist's body of work inspire you. And that's something we'll get into in later episodes too. The inspiration of it all, where Prince's journey was his journey. We're blessed to be along for the ride because he shared that part of himself. He gave that part of his nervous system to everybody. But what was private was private. And that's what we gotta hold on to. But yeah, definitely, shout out Raven to the Joy, fantastic. Shout out to 3121. Shout out to actually High, even though that album was never released, a lot of the tracks got released in different forms. But looking at Prince Vault and looking at what the original track listing was, based on what we do have on streaming, I put together my own playlist of that configuration. And, those three things were just like, they were just so enjoyable to listen to. They may not have been, now 3121, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed it more having done that Twitter thread. But to me, yeah, that album is a 21st century Prince classic. Black Sweat to me stands up against any of the hits, whether it's Kiss, When Doves Cry. Black Sweat should be counted amongst those greatest hits, is what I believe. And There's a lot of songs, on the High album or that were on Chocolate Invasion or Slaughterhouse or whatever, that was originally intended for that album. It's still enjoyable to listen to. It doesn't matter if he wasn't using the Lynn drum machine like he was in 1982 when I was 16, but it was dang good. Like most of those tracks I first heard in 2004. So at 38, those were nice to listen to. Those were great tracks to listen to, and I'm still bumping like I said, 38, listening to new Prince music, you still feel like you're 16 in a way. That's the thing, not go back to being immature, childish, but to have that energy and that feeling. So definitely, shout out to those three albums. They're just nice to hear. Shout out in the comments if those are your favorites. What do you like about those? Share your personal stories about those albums, like when you first heard it. Um, so like I said, the 2025 is the rinse and repeat. Do we have these things to look forward to? The Prince Netflix documentary. I know I've been asked a lot about what my thoughts on were, because I kind of took the hiatus right as that controversy was starting to reach a fever pitch. So I know basically anything that I said prior to that when it first started, those thoughts haven't changed. But become a Patreon supporter. I'm going to do an episode that expands more on that. So be sure to check that out as well. But yeah, this is 2025. We are going to definitely make some things happen this year. Like I said, there's an episode on Ronnie Drayton, guitar player, studio live session player, was asked to do an episode on prior to taking the hiatus. So that's definitely something that's coming soon. So look forward to that. Maybe third or fourth episode in. Check that out. Like I said, check out Patreon, become a supporter. Right now, there is a special. And if you join now, you can get some of the tiers half off. Let's see, let me find the promo code here. Yes, definitely become a supporter. Like I said, you get, voting power. So you can create an episode. There's more, not even just music though. I'm trying to launch a comic book series. So look for that. Actually, I'm working on it, back in production on that, had to stop. Like I said, because it was kind of what we're trying to do is because of all the stop and go. I wouldn't have been able to do the show consistently. Wasn't able to really work on these comics consistently. Got a EP that's out, the Reset EP. Check that out. Was barely able to get that finished by the end of the year. So, and just because it was just kind of like I would have had to stop. We go check out something real quick, come back. Like I said, too heavy to get into at the moment, but like I said, it's about building that launch pad for 2025 and going above and beyond there. But definitely become a supporter. And I can get the device to work correctly here. Right, so here's our Amari Patreon promo. It's 50% off all membership tiers for your first month, and that is going to run through February 28th of this year. and the promo code is 9B404. So get in, become a member, and there's already a lot of exclusive content. There's stuff I talk about Alexander O'Neal's first album. I talk a little bit about For You, Prince's first album. Also become a member because actually there will be an episode. Don't know when. Was hoping to do that earlier last year or before the end of last year. But that's going to be on the back burner for a while because I've got my vinyl and my CD. It's all boxed up and can't do the episode really. Yeah, could, but not really. But for Prince's For You album, there is an episode where I talk about it, but coming up in future episodes, that one for YouTube, one exclusively for Patreon, where we can kind of jam and do some things that we can't do on YouTube. So definitely become a supporter and check that out. But meanwhile, what do you guys think? What are you looking forward to in 2025? Um, for me, I don't know. I don't know. I wish there was something that we could look forward to, some kind of rumor or something. Oh, speaking of rumors, there was that thing online about I don't know what this website's called, AJB or something like that. Um, they started off, they were like, the Camille album is coming out and it's, Jack White's gonna release it. And then there's some other stuff, some stupid stuff about one of the Revolution not being on the planet anymore. Uh there was some other basically what it is a clickbait channel. And I know, these idiots think like, oh, we just got to put up something about Prince and they're just going to flock to it. And I think from what I've heard was that, if you click on it, it's one of those clickbait sites where it's you trying to read the article and there's nothing but ads popping up, popping up, popping up. And, there's a lot of stupid stuff that's on Face Crook and all these other sites now, you know. That's why I say we got to just focus on the positivity. If you got to ignore that stuff, if you got to unfollow some folks, uh, unplug from some groups, by all means do that. Um, like I said, we're just going to rock the positivity. Positivity. Have you had your plus sign today? That's what we're all about. We're going to have nothing but plus signs on every episode and on every comment. you know, uh, we're just going to rock it. But let me know what you think about 2025. Share your success stories, share your favorite music. What are you looking forward to as far as Prince or anybody that's coming out with anything this year? Anything that I should know about that I should do an episode on? Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And like I said, it's great to be back and can't wait until the next episode. But until then, create your day and create your life. Peace.